boys and girls. Today we're dealing with tail issues with the Raw 500. I've seen a lot of people post up that they've had issues with the tail holding, tail blowing out, high speed wag, and all sorts of stuff. Now, assuming you bought the correct tail servo, I use Savox because it works great for me. I've been with them for years and I've never had an issue with Savox servos. Assuming you've done that and it's the correct servo, one thing I like to do when I do a build, the tail output shaft. So before installing that, I will sand it with 2000 grit sandpaper, wet and dry, get it nice and silky smooth. When I'm happy, I use treadmill oil, 100% silicone. Now, the reason why I use treadmill oil is because it bonds very well to the tail output shaft, and unlike something like, I don't know, WD-40, two running, you'll end up having to oil the tail shaft, the output shaft every 3 flights. This stuff, I can get 25 flights before it needs 1 dot of oil on the tail output shaft, just to keep it sweet. Now, when you're re-oiling, remove blades obviously for safety reasons. You can then spin it up on the bench, and I put 1 dot of oil on it, and I will use the rudder, left and right. That will give it a nice coating, and I can then forget about it until the next 25 flights later. So, assuming you've done that, once that is done, and I'm basing this on first time setup, by the way, I will then go into the radio. I will then go to model setup, edit model for me because I've already done this.
Motor off.
I will then, sorry, I'm trying to do things with one hand. Come on. Right, I'll go into my setup. I'll scroll down to here. With V-bar, it should already be, your basic parameter should already be here. Your endpoint limits, 100, 100, okay? Now, once I'm happy, that is as it should be, I will then go to my tail. I fold the tail blades up like so. I then look down from the top, and this is what I'm expecting to see. Right, so I'm hoping to see no more than 2 degrees pitch on the tail. Okay, I should just about see the leading edge of the second tail blade just slightly protruding from the top blade. Once you've set that up mechanically in that way, when you're giving your endpoints, you should see this. No binding, nothing. Now, you don't have to do it for it to get full travel. You really don't. It's a myth. You really don't. Once you're happy you've done that, that is now sorted, okay? I'll then come out of my setup and go back out. I will then go to flight parameters. Click on tail rotor. Now, this is where I've set my tail. Your gain values may come out different, but what I find using this stock pulley at 2450 RPM, which is what I fly in my idle 1, 60, 55 and 50. I never use idle 2 or 3 because I like to have as much efficiency and flight time as possible, but obviously the best performance. Well, I found that using the Scorpion motor 850 kV, 2450 RPM, the stock setup, it works flawlessly. Now, something that a lot of people may do or may not do is I do this and it works well. I scroll down to auto optimize. Click on that. I'll go up into a hover. Ideally, you want to do it on a day where it's not too windy. I'll go into this setting, go into my idle 1, and I will do 5 pirouettes left, 5 pirouettes right. But then, whilst pirouetting, after I've done 5 either side of the normal hover, I will go like so, bang on full throttle, high speed. You're not feeding it in, you're banging it in. Yeah, and you do 5 left, come back down into normal hover, pirouette right, bang it straight up. Now, whilst loading up the tail like that, it will allow it to configure what it feels is the best optimized settings for that tail. Once you've done that, go in here and turn it off. The gains. Now, this is where you'll play with the gains. This is the gains that I found works well for the setup that I got. Okay, let's scroll back up. There you go. 60, 55 and 50. Either 1, 2 and 3. And give this a try and let me know how you get on. I'll leave a link in the description for the treadmill oil and wet and dry sandpaper. I mean, everyone knows you can get that from anywhere, but in case you don't, I'll show you what I use. And yeah, happy days. I hope this video helps you guys, and thanks for watching.